Thank you for joining me, Diana Master, on NMH at 1, where we highlight the news making waves in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs, community stories, sports and economic news. Coming up in this broadcast, IPC suspends a member over coup threats, Geingob's pension dream would cost $15 billion Namibian dollars, and Namibia implements visas on arrival. Follow all our programs on 102.com or DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 in Namibia. Stick around, midday news update coming right up. Bank of Namibia Governor Johannes Geingob says the central bank has declared a dividend of 511 million Namibian dollars over to Deputy Finance Minister Maureen Hindambwende. Stick around, visual news highlights local stories from across Namibia right after the break. Stay with NMH at 1.
Hi Kambaripa.
Hi Melissa.
You look upset. Is everything okay?
A healthcare worker refused to attend to me because I visited the healthcare facility without a guardian.
Healthcare workers are not allowed to do that. This sounds like a job for your shield of survival.
Huh?
Your rights, they're your superpowers. Your shield of survival is your right to life, health, nutrition, shelter, and an adequate standard of living.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
And now getting into today's visual news clips, the affirmative repositioning movement has urged its activists, supporters and sympathizers to formally join its reorganization, institutionalization and formalization program aimed at ensuring strong foundations in their relentless pursuit of economic emancipation. The spokesperson, George Hidipo Hamba Kambala, made these remarks at a press briefing held at their Windhoek office today, updating the nation on the outcome of their recently held interim activist council meeting and progress update on their programs. Becoming a formal member will go a long way in ensuring the needs and voices of the people on the ground are met, said Kambala. Mario Ngula has more.
Right, thank you very much. So today, basically, what I was doing, I was just doing a press briefing on providing an update on where we are as a movement to our members. Because remember that a few weeks ago we had our INEC meeting. INEC is the interim National Executive Council. So we met to discuss a few matters, and the RIF program was one of them. So we met so today was just a post-mortem to say that look, they met, at least what we intend to do for the next coming 8 months or 7 months that the left of the year, and that we want all chairpersons, AR chairpersons, regional chairpersons to start with the REEF program. The REEF program has now been fully resumed with immediate effect. We want them to start going into the communities and establishing those communities, the district executive councils, and holding community engagements within their particular regions, so that by the end of the year we have what we call the National Assembly. But the general idea is that the RIF program has fully resumed in full blast.
Philippe Laporte from Desert and Ocean handed over 6 bikes as a donation to the council today. The donation is aimed at aiding the fight against crime in Swakopmund. This video is courtesy of Precious Ngitaunapo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with a heart filled with gratitude and optimism as we gather here to witness the donation of bicycles towards crime prevention. In a world where crime rates can sometimes overshadow the sense of safety and security we all deserve, it is heartening to see individuals and organizations coming together to address this issue in a proactive manner. Today, we are not just handing out bicycles, we are delivering a message of hope and empowerment to our communities. Bicycles might seem like simple machines, but their impact goes far beyond mere transportation. They become tools of opportunity, offering individuals the means to access education, employment, and essential services. By donating bicycles, we are not only providing people with a mode of transportation, but also opening doors to a brighter future. Ladies and gentlemen, crime is a major concern in our community, impacting the safety and well-being of our residents.
After the break, the Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Thank you for staying with NMH at 1. We now take a look at what the lead stories are in Namibia's daily newspapers. The Namibian Sun reports that Finance and Public Enterprises Minister Ipumbushimi says it will cost at least 15 billion Namibian dollars to implement late President Hage Geingob's wish to pay pensioners up to 3,000 Namibian dollars monthly. Geingob, in his final televised address in December 2023, said he wanted to raise the monthly old age grant from 1,400 Namibian dollars to between 2,000 and 3,000 Namibian dollars before the end of his scheduled term of office on the 21st of March 2025. Geingob sadly passed away on the 4th of February, and his successor, President Nangolo Mbumba, is expected to serve the remainder of the term. However, in the national budget recently tabled in the National Assembly, Shimi increased the old age pension by only 200 Namibian dollars, bringing the new monthly figure to 1,600 Namibian dollars. This has angered some pensioners who had hoped Geingob's wish would be granted. On page 3, TN Mobile has confirmed disconnecting mobile phone clients whose SIM cards were not registered by the 31st of March government deadline. We unfortunately have to suspend them until they come to register tomorrow to reconnect them, said Dr. Stanley Shanapinda, CEO of Telecom Namibia, which operates TN Mobile. The deadline was extended by 3 months after many Namibians failed to have their SIM cards registered by the original deadline of 21 December. Market leader MTC has also disconnected unregistered SIM cards, according to affected clients, but no official comment could be obtained from the company. On the front page of the Republican, an urgent high-level meeting by the ministry with the security clusters has been called after it has seen 28 rhinos poached in Namibia this year up to date. Of these, 19 were killed in the Etosha National Park. Spokesperson of the Environment Ministry, Romeo Muyunda, confirmed this, saying that this is very concerning. He said of the 19 rhinos poached in Etosha, 10 were discovered during dehorning operations throughout this last month. Muyunda said that based on the current situation and the urgency, an assessment is being undertaken in Etosha to establish the full extent of the problem, furthermore to dissect the matter. On page 3, an additional 512 classrooms at existing schools in all 14 regions in the country will be built this year at an estimated cost of 200 million Namibian dollars. An exemption is made by the Ministry of Finance to the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture to use the services of August 26 construction for the building classrooms again, which should be completed by the second half of the year. On its front page, the Allgemeine Zeitung reports that in recent days, a striking number of rhinos have been poached, especially in the Etosha Park. The ministry wants to take stricter measures. And on page 3 of the paper, Siben Kashwanyo, who lives with a disability in Aminuis, pointed out the damaging effects of ableism in the decision-making bodies that often set the political direction. That brings us to the end of the first half of our newspaper review segment. We continue with the second half right after this.
Hallo Namibia, ons is by die kus en ons is lus.
By the Easter shark.
Okay. Okay, so yes. Please, today you make sure that we are fed. Sorry, ek as nie.
Getting into the second half of our newspaper review segment, the Namibian newspaper reports that the independent Patriots for Change has suspended new member Kefas Vanandu for allegedly inciting violence in the country. The party says audio recordings by Vanandu, which were circulated widely on social media, were misconstrued as representing the party's stance. The IPC announced Vanandu's suspension on Sunday. According to a suspension letter, Vanandu had only been a member for 8 days before his suspension. The party demanded a response from Vanandu by tomorrow, explaining why his membership should not be terminated permanently. In one of the audio recordings, Vanandu allegedly suggests the IPC could solicit donations, including weapons, to overthrow the government. On page 3, SWAPO Secretary General Sophia Shanigwa on Thursday said that the construction of the party's national headquarters is nearing completion. Shanigwa was reacting to a report published in the Namibian newspaper last week headlined, "SWAPO headquarters stopped over unpaid 100 million Namibian dollars." She said that the construction of the SWAPO party national headquarters is nearing its completion and work to that effect is in full swing. Shanigwa's statement contradicts the SWAPO Politburo report tabled at the central meeting this month, which confirmed that the party is struggling to finance the headquarters project. The New Era's lead story reports that Namibia has taken a significant step to boost its tourism industry by announcing the implementation of visas on arrival at 5 key border posts across the country. The Immigration Ministry revealed this groundbreaking decision at its headquarters in Windhoek last week. On the paper's page 3, the Omaheke region on Thursday rejected regional consultations for inputs on the revised settlement criteria for the policy and the agriculture minister to hear their special plight. The stakeholders, comprising community activists, traditional leaders and political leaders, cited that the policy and the criteria are not relevant to the people. And finally, according to Market Watch, PSG Namibia says good prospecting results by oil majors Total Energies and Shell could bolster further exploration in the Orange Basin. It made the comments in a brief on the economy following the release of the gross domestic product numbers by the Namibia Statistics Agency last week. Continued growth in oil exploration is probable as the Minister of Mines and Energy has stated that as many as 5 oil drilling rigs could be operating in the Orange Basin at the start of the year, up from a record total of 3 in 2023, PSG said. The Orange Basin could attract further interest from oil companies if Total Energies and Shell's oil well appraisals in the first half of 2024 yield positive results, it noted. Now, after the break, we get into the story of Livestock and Livestock Product Board budgeting $2 million Namibian dollars for red line repair. Stick around for the full update. In today's economic news, the Livestock and Livestock Product Board is collaborating with the Directorate of Veterinary Services to repair and electrify 25 kilometers of the veterinary cordon fence to the west of the Namibia Veterinary Gate. The project is funded using 2 million Namibian dollars allocated from the LLPB's annual budget. The LLPB, through this collaboration, has spent approximately 8 million Namibian dollars over the past 4 years since the initiative began in 2020. LLPB Chief Marketing Officer Desmond Kluter said the maintenance is necessary to maintain Namibia's animal health status as recognized by the World Organization for Animal Health, especially in the foot and mouth disease-free zone. We'll now take a look at the economic indicators just before we get into our African news. The Namibian dollar trades at 23.59 to the British pound, 20.20 to the euro, 18.81 against the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 60 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. First Rand Namibia Limited stocks took a dip of 0.50%, while Letsego Holdings and Namibia Breweries Limited stocks took upturns of 2.50 and 0.03% respectively, while the rest maintained. Local index closed in an upturn of 0.12%, while overall index took a dip of 0.05%. All commodities are up, copper taking a 0.74% increase, now trading at $4.06 per pound. Meanwhile, Brent crude oil took an upturn of 1.27%, now trading at $89.58 per barrel.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
We now expand beyond Namibia's borders to give you the latest news from the African continent here on NMH at 1. A 12-year-old Ghanaian girl who was married off to a 63-year-old traditional priest is now under police protection along with her mother, the Force said on Tuesday. Videos and pictures of Saturday's customary wedding ceremony between the girl and the priest, Numo Bokete Lawetsuru III, had gone viral on social media, angering many Ghanaians. Some called on the police and the government to take action, but community leaders said critics did not understand their customs. The Ghana Police Service is working with the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection and the Department of Social Welfare to provide her with the necessary support while the matter is being investigated, the police added in their post, which was shared on social media. Child marriage is illegal in Ghana but still common according to the global campaigning NGO Girls Not Brides. It says 19% of girls are married before the age of 18 years and 5% are married before their 15th birthday. That brings us to the end of African news, but after the break, we get into international news and we're talking former US President Donald Trump.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Tufini. What are you reading?
I'm reading about the Child Care and Protection Act in this pamphlet I got from school.
What's that?
It is Namibia's main law for the children and the issues affecting them. The act classifies here that a child is anyone under the age of 18 years. Check out some of the rights meant to protect you. For more information, contact the Children's Advocate.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
In international news this afternoon, former US President Donald Trump has posted a $175 million bond in his New York civil fraud case, staving off asset seizures by the state. He was found in February to have fraudulently inflated property values and was ordered to pay $464 million in penalties. Posting bond means New York's Attorney General cannot enforce the penalty by freezing bank accounts or taking property until his appeals are heard. The Republican denies wrongdoing and says that the case is a political hit job. Trump was originally ordered to post a bond amounting to the full penalty, but it was reduced to $175 million last week after his lawyer said it was impossible to secure a bond of that size. If the three judges on the appeal panel rule against him, he will have to come up with the full $464 million or risk the dismantling of his fabled property empire. For now, at least, Trump has spared the humiliation of seeing his real estate assets, such as Trump Tower in Manhattan and his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, taken away from him. Now we get into our local and international sports news after the break.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
In local sports news this afternoon, the Namibian Volleyball Federation, with Bank Windhoek as a primary sponsor, hosted the 40th anniversary of the DOC tournament at the Dome in Swakopmund over the weekend. The event celebrated volleyball excellence in community spirit, bringing together players, coaches and fans nationwide. The coastal town of Swakopmund was filled with energy and determination, as well as over 100 runners who laced up their shoes for the third annual Gondwana Moon Valley Marathon held on Saturday. Closing off local sports stories, the annual West Coast MTB Challenge powered by Hollard was hosted at the Swakopmund Clay Shooting Range on Saturday. Don't go anywhere, coming right up is international sports news. Mamelodi Sundowns will battle it out with Richards Bay in a DStv Premiership match scheduled to take place at the Loftus Versfeld Stadium on Tuesday. Banyana landed in Abuja, Nigeria on Sunday afternoon ahead of the first leg Olympic qualifier against the West Africans to be played on Friday the 5th of April 2024. And in English Premier League news, Manchester City midfielder Jack Grealish, often the target of heckling since moving to the Premier League champions, says he endeavours to take the jeers from opposition supporters as a compliment. If you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and we'll get into the highlights from today's broadcast right after this.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Vindo Kahn.
Sy sê wie hy is aan neertrek en daai bal het my grond gevat. Ja, hy het grond gevat en is
but just enough next. Shh.
Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love it. I love it. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
You're still with NMH at 1. For those of you that are just joining us, let's take a look at the highlights from today's broadcast. A 12-year-old Ghanaian girl who was married off to a 63-year-old traditional priest is now under police protection along with her mother, the force said on Tuesday. In international news, former U.S. President Donald Trump has posted a $175 million bond in his New York civil fraud case, staving off asset seizures by the state. And in local sports, the coastal town of Swakopmund was filled with energy and determination, as well as over 100 runners that laced up their shoes for the 3rd annual Gondwana Moon Valley Marathon held on Saturday. Those have been your highlights. Remember to tune in every weekday at 1 p.m. to spend your lunch hour with NMH at 1, catching up on the latest news in Namibia and beyond. I am Diana Master, and this has been NMH at 1.